What's going on, boys? No guys here, welcome back to the video. And in today's video we're going to go over the 4-2-3-1 custom tactics and instructions, but this is a special one. This is my favorite, maybe top 3 formations of all time, where one of the center backs joins the attack and becomes the attacker. You know, normally when I explain this tactic, everyone just laughs. Why on earth would you want to do that? But it's only when they start using it they realize this could be potentially probably one of the best formations that ever existed in FIFA. It's because you have a staple 4-2-3-1. What's the biggest problem with the 4-2-3-1 is that you lack that extra striker, but no other formation plays like the 4-2-3-1 because you have the 3 cams across. No other formation has that. But when you have a centre back join the attack, you create an extra attacker. Almost like how these modern teams play, but we create it in FIFA. The best way to do it is to bring a centre back going forward. Now, does this mean you play a traditional centre back here? Well, no. I'm going to show you how you can make that player join the attack to give you that attacking presence, because that way you can still attack in a 4-2-3-1 and have an extra centre back, which makes this formation unbeatable. It's so good and it's so variable, so dynamic. So let's start. Now, people always get confused year in, year out. How do you make this centre back go forward? Well, it all depends on a couple of things. Now, ideally, you would want someone like a traditional centre back, let's say a medium high or low high like Cordoba. That's an example, okay? Now, the player that you want to go forward, it's imperative that you have a high attacking work rates, because when you activate the extra striker instruction, it tells the game, okay, I want you to send one of these players forward. If someone's got a high attacking work rates, the game's more likely to send that player forward as opposed to the medium high or the low high. So what would be here an ideal, if you had the money, an ideal situation would be Team of the Year Hakimi, perfect. But if you don't have him, I'll show you an example. So you could sub on a player like Perisic, or you could start a player. So Perisic, he can play that centre back role. He can get the job done there. He's got the good defensive awareness, sprint speed and agility, which is all that's really important for a centre back. Stand tackling, not so much. Maybe lacks interceptions, right? So when you activate the attacking fullback instruction, this player will then go forward and you'll be attacking in a 3. So you'll be attacking in 1, 2, 3. So don't forget you'll be attacking all these 3 players. 3, 2, like this. And why this is so important is you still maintain the midfield too. If you don't have, if you have one of these midfielders join the attack, then you lose a midfielder. Do you see how imperative it is? You're taking someone out the back line, make it into a back 3 and bring that player as an extra striker. So how does this all work? Now let's get onto this and go into this in detail. If you do want to get better at FIFA 23, I do have a FIFA School Series, but just before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say that because I've been running my paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series successfully for many years, and thousands of others have joined already and still stay on. This is for all levels of those that want to improve on FIFA, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These videos are a progressive systematic learning system that teaches you everything from the core mechanics of FIFA to the meta, so you can get better at FIFA as a whole, not just this game, with examples and explanations that go beyond the scope of YouTube videos. With new videos coming out every single week, these videos also adjust to recent updates and patches so you can stay up to date. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/NilGuides, link is down below in the description. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos that are specifically made for both new gen and old gen, with new videos in FIFA 23 getting added every single week. We also have an additional group coaching as well that we started this year due to high demand and high request. And don't forget guys, it's a money back guarantee, so if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the Nil Guides guarantee. Anyway, link is down below in the description, patreon.com/NilGuides. But anyway, back to the video. As I said to you, the player choice is the most important thing. The second thing, of which is very important, is both CDM have to be cut passing lanes, still attacking and cover center. You cannot have these players going forward. You can always push them forward manually yourself, but they have to be on simple attacking for the center back to go forward. Otherwise, the game won't push that center back forward at all. Now let's go into the tactics. Now, you may recognize this. This is very familiar to you. This is in fact my regular 4-2-3-1. And just as an example's sake, I'm going to show you that you can play this with any 4-2-3-1. It's a couple of things that I want you to change here. The depth, I would say, is fine. The only thing is, the lower the depth is, or should I say the higher the depth is, should I say, the lower it is, the further that centre back has to run that distance. So sometimes in this formation where the centre back joins the attack, it's better to have a higher depth than a lower depth. 55 is more than fine enough. I've done test 55, it's completely fine. Now this is the most important thing. When you have this player join the attack, his work rates are important, but also you also want to help push that player going forward. You want him to get in behind. Now, is there an instruction to get in behind for a centre back? No, there's not. So what you do basically is you put long ball. You can put long ball or fast ball, but it has to be one of these two guys. It cannot be balanced, and it definitely cannot be slow build-up play. Long ball or fast build-up. I think for most of you, long ball is fine. Some of you can use fast build-up play. Just beware of counter-attacks, but I think long ball is fine enough. Forward runs is one that I normally use, but you can use direct passing. The width, we've gone with 45. Now, when this player ends up becoming an extra striker, he would roam free into the area. That extra man makes it difficult for your opponent to defend. Why? It's because your opponent normally has a back four, and then you can see naturally they have a 4 versus 4. When you add that additional player into play, there's a lot of confusion. That is where you create the extra man, the third man. That's why I say, I go on Reddit every single year. I laugh people that, they write this formation. They think this formation is a bit of a silly thing that I'm just saying this for no reason. But genuinely, it's one of the best formations. I honestly wish that a pro that uses this will probably start using it effectively. And then you'll see the whole community then change their tune. But 7 players in the box, what I've gone with, this doesn't really affect it too much. It just made that additional play that goes forward. Now, the instructions: stay forward, get in behind, stay forward, stay central. It's the most important thing for that striker. This is going to be the holy. Now, this is going to be more of a supplement place. You want someone that can do a bit. Now, Perisic is a perfect example because he can defend, but he can also go forward. Not everyone's got the money for Team of the Year Hakimi, even I don't. But Perisic, 60k. Very affordable. Stay central, get in behind, stay forward for the striker. Now, what about the cam? Stay forward here again. We've left this player unbalanced. Now, for the lamb and ram. Now, typically on my default formation, we have these players unbalanced, but I would recommend putting them on comeback and defense. Why I say this is, if you lose possession, you're going to have a back three. So sometimes you want these players to fill in that void. So traditional wingers are more than fine over here. And the second striker, you can put a KDB here, but a KDB should go a bit lower. In my opinion, you want a second striker, someone that is very good in the attack. 2 CDMs. I got 1 CDM to close the game, lock the game out, win the ball in the defensive end, a traditional CDM, and I've got 1 that's more mobility. Now, this Perisic, or that centre back, is going to run past these 2 players. So understand, this Perisic is going to be that attacking player. And then the left back and right backs on stay back and overlap. Make sure you guys on stay back, that way you don't mess up the flow. How do you push these guys? How do you push Perisic forward? It's very, very simple. Inside the game, you activate the D-pad tactic, extra striker. Now, the reason why the instructions are so important for the CDMs, and I've tried every other variation, the game tries to bring in an extra striker. But the game in theory reads this as, okay, there's 1 striker here. These guys are cams, so they don't want to bring any of these players forward. So who's the next best extra striker? Well, it's going to be then the 2 CDMs. But if you bring a CDM going forward, there's no difference in putting a player on balance. There's no need to do that. So what we're saying to the game is, striker's already on stay forward, the cam's already up front, and both CDMs are on step up while attacking. So this is telling the game no. Because don't forget, the D-pad tactics looks at these instructions and says, this player wants these players to stay back, so the next best option is one of the centre backs. So one of these 2 players then go forward. It's not the left back and right back. Left back and right back, they have the attacking 4 backs, and they have their own instructions, so they're not into account. So the game decides one of these 2 players, and that is why I say you want someone here that's a low-high work rate, and someone over here who's high-high or high-medium, because that tells the game's going to choose one of these players. Now, traditionally speaking, an extra striker will be determined by their attacking stats. Most of the time, the attacking centre back is going to have those. That's why I used FIFA 20 when I made this formation initially. I used that Mendy card. Remember that Mendy? I forgot what it was called. It was like the white background, very, very colourful. I can't remember what was it called, that promotion. I'm sure many of you guys will know. Footies or something like that. But that is why you want a good centre mid here, and that's how the game knows to send this centre back going. Because everyone gets confused. How does the game know that an extra striker sends this centre back going forward? It's because the instructions on the CDM, both of them on stay back, pushes the centre back going forward. Now, you can play the 4-2-3-1 normally. You don't have to have that player join the attack, but that's the benefit. That's what I love about these formations, the dynamic formations where you can activate like a light switch. If I want this player to go forward, I just turn on extra striker. The player starts running forward. If I don't want him to, I just turn it off and he stays in centre back. Do you see how dynamic? It gives you that manoeuvrability to kind of own that centre back yourself. Do you want that player? Sorry, that player. Do you want him to go forward? Or do you want him to go backwards? So what I do is, let's say if I'm inside the game and I can't attack with the 4-2-3-1 because it's still a very good formation, then I can use your extra centre back to supplement me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this formation. As I said, look, I promise you guys, have the same trust in this one. So don't worry about what everyone else thinks. Just try it first. Or else what else? Try the formation first, then decide if you like it. Remember, formation for everyone's style, but the 4-2-2-1 is always a good holy go. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon search, patreon.com/nil guys. You can click here if you don't get back after 1 month. I'll refund your money. That is a nil guys guarantee. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out, boys.